Well, this is Steve, and I'm here with Sarah Bodner. She is with AEP. She is the communications
Director. Yep.
And we're going to talk with her a little bit about the storm that went through on Friday and some of the cleanup. It's a pretty extensive mess out there.
It is very extensive. You know, one comparison that people have is the 2008 ice storm. So when we look at the amount of damage, the damage from this storm in July, or actually I guess June of 2012 is much more significant than the ice storm. And so when you look at our system, about 95% of our circuits have been impacted, which is massive for us.
And of course, ice, cold.
Yes. So if I had to choose personally, I would rather be out in the summer than in the winter because I prefer the heat. Now I know some people would take the opposite, just depends on body temperature. There are weather challenges associated with both of them. Obviously ice, you've got the dangers of frostbite for our guys. You've obviously got people in their homes without heat. That's a concern. In the summer, we have similar concerns. So for our guys, it's about heat exhaustion. They are working about 16 hours a day outside for 16 hours. And so we have to make sure we're keeping them hydrated. We have to make sure we give them rest periods. We have to make sure we get food into them because those guys will work without food and water and then we get into trouble. Also for our residents, it's a similar situation. You know, most of their air conditionings aren't working. Some of their refrigerators are not working if they don't have generators. And so that becomes a challenge, keeping food in the home, keeping your family comfortable. Luckily, we can get out. We've got wonderful events and fairs going on locally that people can get out of the house and enjoy. Wasn't necessarily the case in the ice storm. Okay?
So Sarah, tell me about the number of circuits that were involved in this, which is kind of an indicator of how extensive the damage really was.
So when you look at the city of Fort Wayne, all right, we've got 146 circuits. Of those 146, 138 were impacted. That's a full 95% of our system. 95% of the circuits were impacted in some way, which is pretty substantial.
Do you remember how that compared to the ice storm?
I don't have those numbers. It's going to be pretty similar or greater.
Okay. I know there's some basics that we should all be following, not picking up things and let you
Exactly, so the basics. Some people will see a wire on the ground and think, oh, maybe it's a cable line. It might be a cable line. It also might be an electrical line. Never touch an electrical line. The last thing in the world that we want is one of our customers to be injured. And so please don't touch the wires, don't drive over the wires, just leave them there. Our folks will get there eventually to pick them up. Also in your homes, we often have very nice electrical equipment, TVs, computers. Turn all of that on because when your power does come on, you risk a power surge, which could damage some of your electrical devices. So go ahead and turn off all the electronics in your home. We do suggest that you leave one lamp on. That way you know when the power gets back on. Also, it's a good practice to leave your front porch light on, whether you are without power or whether you have power. That lets crews and assessors know, hey, this house, this neighborhood has power, and they won't waste time trying to figure out, looking at the circuits. If they see electrical, then if they see a front porch light, then they know. Also, check on the people that you care about. Check on the people that you know are elderly. Check on the people that you know may have some medical issues. Make sure that they're getting water. Make sure that they're getting ice. Make sure that they're getting the things that they need.
One of the things that Paul talked about in the news conference was this wasn't just Fort Wayne.
No, it was extensive.
Moved east and how that's kind of contributed into things as well.
Yes, our sister company alone, AEP Ohio, has more than 1 million customers out. When you start moving further out, I think there have been a total of 17 deaths and close to 4 million people out of electricity kind of across the whole system. So this was not a small storm. This was very substantial.
Anything else that we didn't cover that needs to be talked about?
No, we are working our butts off to make sure we get everybody back on. We care about our customers. We also care about our guys. And so we're making sure that we keep our employees and our contractors safe. That is always our priority. Keep everybody safe and get our residents, our customers on as soon as we possibly can. When you see our guys out there, they're working really hard. Say hi to them, thank them, maybe give them some water. However, try not to take up a lot of their time talking to them because the more time you spend asking them about when you're going to get on, that's less time they have getting you on.
Sure. Okay. Well, Sarah, we appreciate your time and we appreciate you keeping us updated as you have.
Anytime. Let us know whatever you need. We're happy to help.